Chapter 8. I don't believe in defeat. If you are thinking thoughts of defeat, I urge you to rid yourself of such thoughts. For as you think defeat, you tend to get it. Adopt the I don't believe in defeat attitude. I want to tell you about some people who have put this philosophy into effect with excellent results and shall explain the techniques and formulas which they used so successfully. If you read these incidents carefully and thoughtfully and believe as they did and think positively and put these techniques into operation, you too can overcome defeats which at the present moment may seem inevitable. I hope you are not like an obstacle man of whom I was told. He was called an obstacle man because, regardless of whatever suggestion was advanced, his mind instantly went to all possible obstacles in connection with it. But he met his match and learned a lesson which helped to change his negative attitude. It came about in the following manner. The directors of his firm had a project under consideration which involved considerable expense and some definite hazards as well as success possibilities. In the discussion regarding this venture, the obstacle man would invariably say, and always with a scholarly air, invariably this type acts wise, probably, a cover-up for inner doubt feelings. Now, just a moment, let's consider the obstacles involved. Another man who said very little but who was respected by his associates for his ability and achievements for a certain indomitable quality which characterized him, presently spoke up and asked, "Why do you constantly emphasize the obstacles in this proposition instead of the possibilities?" "Because," replied the obstacle man, "to be intelligent one must always be realistic, and it is a fact that there are certain definite obstacles in connection with this project. What attitude would you take toward these obstacles, may I ask?" The other man unhesitatingly replied, "What attitude would I take toward these obstacles? Why, I would just remove them, that's all, and then I would forget them." "But," said the obstacle man, "that is easier said than done. You say you would remove them and then you would forget them. May I ask if you have any technique for removing obstacles and for forgetting them that the rest of us have never discovered?" A slow smile came over the face of the other man as he said, "Son, I have spent my entire life removing obstacles, and I never yet saw one that could not be removed provided you had enough faith and guts and were willing to work. Since you want to know how it's done, I will show you." He then reached into his pocket and took out his wallet. Under the isinglass window was a card on which were written some words. He showed the wallet across the table and said, "There, son, read that. That is my formula, and don't give me the song and dance, that it won't work either. I know better from experience." The obstacle man picked up the wallet and with a strange look on his face read the words to himself. "Read them out loud," urged the owner of the wallet. This is what he read in slow, dubious voice. "I can do all things through God which strengthen me." The owner of the wallet put it back in his pocket and said, "I have lived a long time and have faced a lot of difficulties in my time, but there is a power in those words, actual power, and with them you can remove any obstacle." He said this with confidence and everybody knew he meant it. The positiveness together with the facts of his experience which were known to all, for he was a remarkable man who had overcome many odds, and because of the further facts that he was not in any sense holier than thou, made his words convincing to the men around the table. At any rate, there was no more negative talk. The project was put into operation and, despite difficulties and risks, turned out successfully. The technique used by this man is based on the primary fact about an obstacle, which is, don't be afraid of it. Practice believing that God is with you and that in combination with Him you have the power to handle it. So the first thing to do about an obstacle is simply to stand up to it and not complain about it or whine under it, but forthrightly attack it. Don't go crawling through life on your hands and knees, half defeated. Stand up to your obstacles and do something about them. You will find that they haven't half the strength you think they have.